Welcome to the 7th show in our series of Touring Texas Songwriters with our host, the long, tall Texan, Mr. Bruno Michel. Today's show features Sarah Pierce along with Merel Bregante and Michael Dorian, and is brought to you by the Barrel Brewing Company and the citizens of historic Salado, Texas. Sarah Pierce was recorded live in front of a studio audience for broadcast on Country Radio Switzerland. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Sarah Pierce.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago we had a real cattle rancher here in the form of Stuart Adamson from the Flying A's. And today we got a cowgirl, which is actually the daughter of a cowboy, which is one of your songs, I think.
Yes.
And so welcome, Sarah. Thank you for being here. We'll look forward
honored
to the show, and I guess we'll have a lot of fun. So far, the past 4 were hilarious, and I think the next ones will be too. And this one's going to be the best, I guess, because we're just like a little family here. Okay, so you started in your stepdad's band when you were about 12.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember when you wrote your first song and what it was about?
Yeah, the first song I wrote was way after that. But and I always say that I should have been on the ranch when I wrote it, but I wasn't. I was sitting by a swimming pool, and I wrote a song called "I Don't Give My Heart," which is actually on this record. I didn't record it for years and then put it on this record.
Okay. You tour a lot, but still work kind of a regular job.
Yeah.
How and when do you still find time to even write new songs? You got the work, you got your gigs.
It's a challenge. I'm not somebody who puts out songs. I'm a pressure writer. When Merle says we need a new record, I sit down and I start writing. I write a little bit for other people in between. But I'm a pressure writer. When I have to sit down, I slam them out the best I can.
So you would actually write less if you wouldn't have a day job on the side?
Well, no. If I didn't have a day job, I'd be writing a lot more and I'd be on the road a lot more.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But you gotta feed the horses.
True. Yeah, you still got those, right? How many are there now?
Only 2.
Only 2.
That's enough.
Okay. All right. Well, let's play another one.
Okay. Let's see. How about what's the name of the record? Barbed Wire. Yeah, see, you didn't know either. So when we moved out onto that land, we had to clear before we got the horses out. So we were clearing. It takes a long time out here. There's a lot of underbrush. But we came upon some old barbed wire, and I didn't realize until I did some research just how old it was. I looked it up, and it's called H.C. Scott Arrowhead, and it was brought down in 1876 from Illinois to Colorado. What state am I in? To Texas. And it's beautiful. It's clearly hand-pounded, hand-twisted. So I put a piece of that on my, just talking about writing songs, I put a piece of that on my dining room table because I had been in a writing rut for a couple of years, and I just couldn't finish a song. And I'll be darned, in like 2 weeks I had 16 songs. So I keep that barbed wire around. And here is the title song.
Ready? 2, 1, 2, 3.
You can call me anything you want, and you're probably right. After what he did to me, you may not realize I come from a long line of women who hold it in and get the job done. Then we get to the root of the problem and go and get our gun. Well, I'm weathered, I'm twisted, and I'm dangerous as hell. I may not look it from a distance, even up close, it's hard to tell. But I can rip you up or protect you. Either way, I stand unharmed. 'Cause girls like me, our mamas raised us to be tough as barbed wire. You can say anything you see fit, and I'll hear you out. But if you talk behind my back, be ready to stand your ground. You see, time does what it wants. It's the weather I watch close. Like my grandma, I've got the constitution of a bramble rose. Well, I'm weathered, I'm twisted, and I'm dangerous as hell. I may not look it from a distance, even up close, it's hard to tell. But I can rip you up or protect you. Either way, I stand unharmed. 'Cause girls like me, all mamas raised us to be tough as barbed wire. Pounded metal in the shape of a shooting star, strapped by 3 rusted wires, kinda like my heart. Well, I'm weathered, I'm twisted, and I'm dangerous as hell. I may not look it from a distance, even up close, it's hard to tell. But I can rip you up or protect you. Either way, I stand unharmed. 'Cause girls like me, all mamas raised us to be tough as barbed wire. Girls like me, all mamas raised us to be tough as barbed wire. Thank you.
So you grew up in ranches and around cattle. Let's flash forward 20, 30, 40 years maybe. Once you will
Don't go too
retire, once you will retire, are you planning on having the working ranch again? Kind of, not necessarily doing all the work, but just having the working ranch.
I hope we have a ranch. I do. We want to carry that on. It's something that I've just been reminded of. We are having trouble getting an ag exemption because of the soil on where we actually are, and it's different down in Texas because there's per acre. There's only so many cattle you can have. Where in the ranch we had in Colorado, there's plenty of grass, so you don't think about it. But no, I can't imagine us not having a ranch.
So it will happen.
Yeah.
And Merle's going to get up at 4 a.m. and milking all the...
4:30.
4:30.
Yeah.
I already do.
Give him a half an hour more.
I already do.
Yeah, you do. So several members of your family are in the Cattlemen's Hall of Fame, and you're in the field of healthcare. How the hell did that come? Totally different.
Yeah, that is true. My mom and my stepfather are actually physician assistants, and I have been for years. And when I told them I wanted to sing and that's what I wanted to do, they said, you better get a job. So it was kind of natural to do something that I lived with. Yeah, and I think it's a great profession.
Yeah, but you could have actually chosen something like working with horses on stables or...
To me, that didn't mean you'd make a living. Or at least where I was at that time in my life, I was breaking horses. I spent my first, $80 for breaking a horse buying my first pair of boots. But boy, I didn't think it would work.
All right.
And I like taking care of people. I adore my patients. They're wonderful. I get a lot of songs out of that.
Yep.
Stories. And I love family practice. It's great.
All right. Cool. Well, time for another one? Which one's going to be
Okay.
one of the new ones, the new record?
We're
or-
saving one of the new ones. We'll make sure
Okay,
we get
cool.
to it. Yeah, don't let me know when I've got my time cut off.
Do have a good hour. You talked about it.
We can, if you want to do that.
Sure.
See, leave it to Merle. We have a list, but he's going to go off the list. So this is the first country song I ever wrote. All right. You okay with that? Oh, I haven't said who everybody is. I'm so sorry.
ahead.
Mr. Mike Dorian, Mr. Merel Bregante. Gee willikers.
Nice to meet you.
I don't give my heart to just anyone, 'cause just anyone isn't who I had in mind. I'm looking for someone who believes in forever and won't just take up my time. So take your time loving me, it should be easy. There are no preconceptions of the way a love should be. It feels so right, it must be wrong. I understand that emotion, 'cause I don't give my heart to just anyone. It only takes a promise to move me, yeah, to move me. Isn't something easily done? I've seen a blue sky fall with a single careless moment, and watched rain wash destiny away. So take your time loving me, it should be easy. There are no preconceptions of the way a love should be. It feels so right, it must be wrong. I understand that emotion, 'cause I don't give my heart to just anyone. No, I don't give my heart to just anyone. That was such a good solo. You made me laugh. I messed up.
That was pretty cool in between.
It
Yeah.
was very nice. Cool.
So back in the corner there, we have Merel Bregante, famous producer all over the world.
Oh my God.
All over.
We met, I don't know, back in the 90s with Chris Wall first time.
That's right.
Switzerland
wow.
or something like that.
Shooting house.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Schützenhaus Obisgürtli, yeah. That was a long time ago. Now, the question is about him, but it's to you. So you have all these talents like producing and mixing and playing and, you know. How do you guys solve differences when you think a song should sound like this and he thinks something totally different?
I agree.
I'll say,
Good
we look
rule.
at Michael. We figure it out. I think I'm so blessed by these two. We figure it out. We're a team. We all kind of work together. When it's me and Merle, then we see what Mike thinks. And somehow we work it out. I got to say, Merle has the experience, especially with the recording, the engineering, all of that. I'm usually not going to say much about that. Just like I'm not going to talk to Mike about his guitar tone or things like that. He's great. There's nothing for me to say. Every once in a while I comment about the emotion of the line or the emotion of the verse. But these guys are great at that, so it doesn't happen very often. Thank goodness.
So his first reaction was more like rule number 1, Sarah's right. Rule number 2, in case she's not, rule number 1 applies.
But you know what? It has to do with communication. It's all about communicating.
Absolutely.
And if you believe this, which I truly do, then the work itself is rather simple, because I believe that the song, if you stay out of its way, the song will tell you what it wants. And it seems to happen very easily with Sarah's music. There's pre-production, but at the end of the day, as Sarah said, we'll talk through a song, and then Michael comes and whenever Michael is my guitar player if I record. And I don't tell him what to do. I just say, here's a song, and then I go red when it's time, and when it's done, I've got a great guitar part.
It's cool.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So always a good thing. Kind of get along all the time.
Most of the time.
Now, you have toured Europe in the past, so what do you think is the difference between the audience here in Texas and over in Europe?
It depends on the situation, but for the most part, we spend most of our time in Italy. The audience is, I think there's just more listening. And that's changing a little bit here, but yeah, it's nice to have people listen. And at the same time, we do a lot of small villages. So you do have every age group, every demographic. That's interesting to me. The first time I went, it was a little bit daunting because they put the older women in the front. Older, much older. And I'm always thinking, oh my God, we're going to be so loud, we're going to just blow them back. But usually, an hour into it, they're asleep. So,
It's so true.
They're no worry. So I learned to not worry about it.
That's because they had a good meal and some grappa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play another one.
Let's see. What do you think? Let's do. We're gonna do another slow one since this isn't a dance hall thing. This is a song that I wrote about my grandma. When I was a little kid, I told my grandma a lie, and she never said anything. I never said anything, but we both knew. And so I wrote this song, and I started it. I started the verse, got the chorus, but every time I tried to finish it, it just was too sad. So it missed every record. I could just never really get it done, and I wanted it on the Barbed Wire record, because the Barbed Wire record, I threw all the rules out and just did a record. I just did songs. So I couldn't finish it. So I sent it to Willie Braun from Reckless Kelly. And of course, in a week, he sent me back the perfect verse and the perfect bridge. So now it sounds like a love song. That's why I always tell the story. It started out me telling my grandma a lie, and it actually did quite well on the Texas music charts. And Michael and I sing it together, and that's why I always do it, because you got to hear Mike. Mike's a singer-songwriter, and got just a great voice. So we're gonna do a duet.
Okay.
Duet.
All right.
They also take care of me. Mike always looks over at my capo, just making sure that I'm not in the wrong place. Probably, sort of.
There you go. Maybe there. Okay.
I was funning you.
All right. Yeah, you're checking me. I know.
I lied to you. You're right. I don't know why I didn't tell you. I guess it was pride. You're gone now, so you know all about it. I guess I just had to say it out loud. you'd hear it. Well, I'm sorry if I ever caused you pain. We were together when our lives were pretty strange. And I love you just like I did then. And I remember way back when. Just know I'm sorry if I hurt you back then.
I told the truth that night. I don't know why I kept it from you for such a long, long time. I'm alone now. Sometimes I wish I'd never let it slip. These things have a way of dragging us down. I guess I'm glad I did. But you're no angel,
You're no saint,
but if I ever get the chance to explain, I'd say I'm sorry if I ever caused you pain. We were together when our lives were pretty strange. I love you just like I did then. And I remember way back when. Just know I'm sorry if I hurt you back then.
just know I'm sorry if I hurt you back then. Mike Dorian.
Song,
Thank you.
song for Grandma.
Yeah.
You actually took the next question away by answering about that 18-inch piece of barbed wire. So you still have it, so that
Yes.
answers the question.
Absolutely.
Now, you worked with the Brown Brothers quite some time, and these guys are really taking off heavily now.
Yeah.
I mean, they deserve
Very
it.
happy for him.
Are there any other Texas artists you would like to kind of, work together, share the stage with, write songs, like kind of a dream thing that you still have?
Texas. There's so many great writers, and they're all they're so diversified. I just wrote a song with Randy Brown that we'll put on the new record. I'm hoping to write with Randy Palmer, the Randy Boys, and get something done there. I've written with a bunch of different people. It's tough because the Red Dirt guys we don't write the same way. Our topics we don't have a lot in common. But there's just a ton of people. Sunny Sweeney, I think she's got some nice stuff, and we've talked a little bit about that. But yeah, and then I'm up in Nashville writing every once in a while, much less than I used to.
But how do you see the songwriter kind of community between here and over in Nashville? I mean, I hear a lot of stuff that there is a ton of great songwriters out there, but here you actually have this family thing almost when you work together with the people. How do you see that?
I know there's a big thing with Nashville, and you definitely have spent some time with Chris Wallace, so you've heard a lot of that. When I'm up there, I do see. I mean, there's a cutthroat thing to it, but I think that's almost everywhere. We've been in L.A., we've been in a lot of places, and there's the family aspect too. I saw a lot of camaraderie up in Nashville. Some of the recent guys that have finally broken through, that have been waiting tables and beating the streets for years. Shame on me, I can't remember his name that I'm thinking of right now, but everybody's real happy for him. So I think we're all doing the best we can.
Mm-hmm. But isn't that one of the differences I keep hearing is that, with all this kind of marketing support that you get from the big labels out there, all these talent shows, so-called talent shows, they keep pushing people actually beyond their capabilities in the beginning, and then this what I call the 3 CD acts, the first, the last, and the Christmas album.
Well, you get pushed, and you either are able to live up to it and go beyond, or you're not, and that does help a lot. We used to call it shelving people. I don't know what they call it now, but that's a shame. And there's some Texas artists that are phenomenal that went up to Nashville, and that happened to them. And
they came back.
It's a shame.
Randy Rogers, Pat Green, all these guys. They
Sonny
all came
Sweeney.
Back. Yes, Sonny too. Yeah.
But just great artists that
Because it actually happens at the moment, I think, to Maren Morris. I met Maren when she was like 14 at the Texas International Apple Festival in Medina. I didn't even know they had that. And, her dad was throwing out koozies and T-shirts for free. And she was country as can be. And now if you listen to that new album, Girl, there's a bunch of great songs on there. But she totally adapted to what they want her to be.
Right. Yeah.
Like the next, I said, maybe next Taylor Swift, I don't know. But she's getting totally off the rails in order to make the money, and she does.
And then you find out, then you see what happens. I think, there was that, I don't know honestly what year it was when Kathy Mattea and Susie Boggess and Mary Chapin Carpenter, when they were all just really, really big deal. And then a lot of them, they did a couple records, and then they did a record for themselves, and all at about the same time. So it was strange that all of a sudden that group of women suddenly were gone. I don't mean to say that way.
No, it's
gone from the charts,
from the mainstream.
A shame, because they were phenomenal, but they didn't fit the mold that they were wanting to bring out. When I talked to a record label out of Nashville many years ago when I was younger, the reason I said no was I didn't want to. At one of the meetings, one of the people, I'm going to leave it at that, looked at me and said, well, we can do something with her. And I was like, you know what? And I talked to Merle about it, because, boy, you say no, you're probably done. And I said, I just can't get up there with that short little skirt and my little, I look different then, and my little goofy top. It's not, I can't. And so I said no. And that's big, because you say no once to a big record label like that.
Then the talk is out.
It's out, and I never got another offer.
You keep being yourself, and you actually stay true to your songs and everything, which is much more important. It would be nice to make a couple $1 million, but you have to change too much for that usually these days.
You do what you do, and you live with what you got. And you know what? There's a lot of people that give and turn into that other person, and they're happy. Yeah. And if they're happy, that's great. You got to be, if you're happy.
I don't know.
And is there any mentoring between among the female performers at all?
Boy, Merle's been my mentor for the past, almost 30 years. In Austin, the songwriter groups, though there is a little bit of a, it's tough, but I think there's support. I think this area, there's a little more support. It's kind of, there is that dog eat dog thing. I'm sorry, I should make it all cute and pretty, but it's not. Now I gotta say, Christine Albert was the first one to let me know when I was moving. John Enman got us to move to Austin, so he referred us to Ernie Gamage, who was then married to Christine Albert. And I was at that time, I didn't play, and I really didn't write. I didn't know I could write. I had never thought about it. So Ernie and Christine were the first ones that said, don't come in this town if you don't play guitar. You better get to it, and you better write your own songs. And that's when I went, oh, I guess I could. I hadn't thought about it. I was young, singing other people's songs. I figured I can't write like they can. And I don't. But I do. There's a support system. It's just integrated. I know that Merle's is a great supporter of his artists. And there's a few producers like that. And then there's just the songwriters that get, into little groups and kind of support each other.
But there's Houston.
Houston does a lot of it, too.
There's a lot of mentoring there.
That's what I meant before. There's kind of way less. I mean, there is competition, of course, but not in a way that it starts to become like almost a war. But you still have that family thing. You can call that guy up or this guy up.
Yeah.
Or like in the past, we had a couple guys that lost their equipment due to fires or due to accidents, and within like 6 hours they have some new stuff from friends.
Yeah.
Everybody comes together, and there is no discussion about it.
Yeah.
Okay, now we went completely off the rails. Let's play another song. Which is great, by the way. I like that.
You want to do a new one? One of the new ones?
Sure.
You okay with that?
I'm fine.
Want to do a new one?
Rock.
Okay, well, I just want to check.
Do it
See how everybody is. All right. So this is going to be on the new record, and we've kind of arranged it, but you can give me a little. So the song's called "I Want to Go Home," and but I wrote this when I think about home. I think about Merle, of course, and the animals. But I thought it was funny.
And you came first.
Merle and oh, come on.
The dogs and the horses. Oh yeah, Merle.
But I love our land.
okay.
I love our trees. We're so blessed to have that part of it that I'm not real. The house is fine, but it's not. The home isn't like in the house. The home is the land. So that's where this came from. Do we agree? Oh, you want me to change it?
Stop.
Oh, we don't have to stop.
Sharp. We were doing this in F class.
Taping.
I forgot what we decided yesterday. My bad.
I was like, "Meh." I'm like, no, that harmonic should be right. That's a harmonic. Hello. Wait a minute.
You were gonna go with it though. I'm proud of you. There's a place, no walls, no stairs, just the open range, and you waiting there. It's a lone star up above an old live oak. That tree's seen it all, and she still has hope. I wanna go home, put my boots in the red dirt where the rising sun wakes a dormant place in my soul. I wanna go home, where my saddle is my church and a long ride confession is the only way I know. I wanna go home. There's a way there, it's land, it's weather, it's tradition, holding the West together. It's your word, it's a handshake, that's all it takes. Out there you are the man or woman you make. I wanna go home, put my boots in the red dirt where the rising sun wakes a dormant place in my soul. I wanna go home, where the saddle is is my church, and a long ride confession is the only way I know I want to go home. It's the Cap Rocks reaching up to God. It's the Rio Grande tucking us in on the southern side. It's the people sweating out their dreams to keep this way of life alive. I wanna go home, put my boots in the red dirt where the rising sun wakes a dormant place in my soul. I wanna go home, where the saddle is my church and a long ride confession is the only way I know I wanna go home. Where my boots in the red dirt, where the rising sun wakes a dormant place in my soul. I wanna go home, where my saddle is my church and a long ride confession is the only way I know I wanna go home. Thank you. Mike Dorian.
Really cool. Yeah, we were talking about mentoring before, so you're long enough in the business to kind of mentor yourself. What advice would you give a young artist that wants to make it in this songwriter thing? You know?
Boy, you keep going. I don't. We actually, I have somebody I'm meeting with this week, and it's a strange thing because I don't feel like I should tell anybody anything, except that I think I've done everything wrong, so at least I know maybe the other way to do it.
Well, not to
You make mistakes, you find out, and the world is changing so much. And when Merle did it, you got discovered in a bar. You just played every gig you could. I do think you should just play every gig you can and write what's in your heart and try not to write what other people are writing, because chasing your tail just gets you in trouble. But just go out there and have fun, because it's hard and it's a long road, and you better enjoy it and practice. And I'm not as good at that. I'm not. I get detoured. I remember I took some guitar lessons from Kenny Grimes once, and Kenny had me. I was supposed to do this and then move my finger. I was supposed to do that for like half an hour. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding! So I wrote a song instead. So it's practice. Even though it stinks.
Go out there. And then, on the other hand, if you write about the topic that already has been written about, it could still turn out to be like a unique song because it comes from you.
Yeah.
So there is, not two people alike, actually, even if they write.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you look at an example like Chris Wall, we talked about that last week. He wrote Trashy Women.
Yeah.
Like a little bit Trashy Women. And then Jerry Jeff recorded it, and it still wasn't a hit. But when Confederate Railroad came across, it became a hit. So it really depends on what you do with a song, which actually has the same lyrics and the same melody and everything, but you can actually do something. If they probably had heard it on the tour bus from Jerry Jeff, from Chris Wall, his version, they probably wouldn't have taken
Maybe
it.
not.
But they heard it from Jerry Jeff, so they said, oh, we like that, we want that.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
I don't know, is there any song you think that you wrote that should actually go that direction? That somebody could discover it and make something out of it?
I actually, oh, what?
No, go ahead. I want to hear from you.
He's going to get political. We're going to not get. We're not going to go there.
I promise I won't.
I actually, and I don't know Miranda Lambert. I don't know her. I know of her. But I really wanted to get Barbed Wire to her because I could see her doing it and I could see her feeling it because she grew up that way. So yeah, I kind of wish that I had a way to do that, and not for
Put the vibe out there.
yeah.
There you go.
And the recent stuff she's been through. It's hard. I don't care how rich you are or how famous you are. You still hurt.
And now you still have a chance. You can write a song about cops because she just married one in January. So now
there we go.
you probably have a chance to do that. She married a New York cop. So write a song about those guys.
The interesting thing to me is the fact that Sarah's had a bunch of success on the radio, but it's always been independent. And so even though a song might get literally tens and tens of thousands of spins in its life on the radio, a song called Butterfly Tattoo was gigantic for her. Independent country radio went to number 4 in the nation. That's a song that I think someone could do because it's just a fun summer song. Yep. It's getting the song to the artists. That's the big deal. Yep. Trying to get them out there.
Spreading the word. Yeah. By the way, you want to play them?
No. And he did that on purpose because we talked about it yesterday and decided we weren't going to play it because we'd have to relearn it. We haven't played it in a long time.
I know who's doing the horses tonight.
So in 2000, you did the children's recording, The Buttercup Princess, and you donated all your proceedings basically to charities. What do charities mean to you in general, like as an artist?
We do everything that we can. I mean, and I think that we haven't done many lately, but there haven't been that many. But any dog, cat, shelter thing, we're there. And I'm so lucky that these guys go. They're not like, where's my $100? They go and they donate their time, and so we do a lot of that. Buttercup Princess went to Ronald McDonald House because I wrote that for Caroline, my niece, and Ronald McDonald. She was very premature and needed help, and Ronald McDonald House helped my sister and her baby, and I think they're wonderful. So sometimes you have to be a little sneaky on how you get them the money. But and I really, when we contacted them, they wanted the layout of the record, the lyrics, and I was like, of course. I mean, because gee whiz. It's funny. Sometimes it's sneaky. You just have to do a big anonymous donation and not even worry about it. But we try and donate as much as we can.
Is it kind of a passion for you? So would you go into the same like Christine Albert goes in with her songs
the Swan songs.
For what is it called?
Isn't that the Swan songs?
Yeah, Swan songs. Yeah.
Yeah, she does some wonderful stuff.
Is it is it something that you could imagine start doing a different thing, obviously, but something that is close to your heart, and you just want to spend your time on that one?
Well, we've tried to divide it up because we have so many things. We do the SPCA, and of course we do horse rescue, and then we do, so yeah, it would be great to be able to solidify it and have it go to one place. But I'm just such a sucker that I can't say no to the others. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Okay. So let's all kind of go to her and pretend we need help. And then we're good. We don't have to work no more. Cool. Great thing.
That's funny.
There we go.
Let's play another one then.
Okay, so
we get to the last
wanted you. Let's see. What's the song about your mom? Jeez, I'm such a dork.
I don't know. I forgot.
Wild Ones.
Wild Ones.
All right.
Okay. So I wrote this song about Merle's mom. I never got to meet Merle's mom, which I'm sorry about. And he told me the story, and she was born in Martindale, Montana in
1903.
Thank you, 1903. She married into the rich family in town. She had a son, not Merle. And but just she a couple of years later realized this guy's just a jerk. So she had always had a dream of having a fishing boat. So she loaded up her kid and said, I'm driving west till I hit the ocean and I'm going to buy a fishing boat. And she got there, met Merle's dad. We have Merle. Yay! And so I was like, yeah, it's a great story. And he said, no, you're not quite getting it. It took her 3 years. There weren't that many roads. The cars didn't go very fast. She could only go, a tank or so of gas and then stop in short order, cook, and then go more. So it was a big deal. And it made me think about everybody has their obstacles, no doubt. But at that time, there's no road. That's pretty big. And went back to Annie Oakley and who's the other lady in the song? The other lady, Mary Jane Coulter, the architect over for the Grand Canyon. Just that there were just those kind of obstacles. So
like pioneer women almost.
So we call this Wild Ones, and it's for Merle's mom.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
The only good thing about that diamond ring is it bought her the truck she's leaving in. And that whole town's still talking, they're all stunned. Can't believe she left their cheating favorite son. Thank God for the wild ones that put gumption in our blood. Yeah, those girls sure cut through some mud. From Annie Oakley to Mary Jane Coulter, made it okay for us to take it a little further. Thank God for the wild ones. She took the state line and headed west. Did some short order cooking to pay for gas. Then that Chevy finally rolled onto the coast. She put all her money down on a fishing boat. Thank God for the wild ones that put gumption in our blood. Yeah, those girls sure cut through some mud. From Annie Oakley to Mary Jane Coulter, made it okay for us to take it a little further. Thank God for the wild ones. Doing a man's job riled up the town. In the 1940s that was frowned upon. Then a young fisherman caught her fancy. She found the man of her dreams halfway across the country. Thank God for the wild ones that put gumption in our blood. Yeah, those girls sure cut through some mud. From Annie Oakley to Mary Jane Coulter, made it okay for us to take it a little further. Thank God for the wild ones. Thank God for the wild ones. Thank you.
Now that brought me to another question which we didn't have on the list. Now, if this kind of woman inspired you for that song, how do these topics usually come to you? Is it somebody you meet and then you decide to write a song? Is it something you kind of experience during the day, or
It's all of it.
all kind of stuff?
It's all of it. And sometimes I'm just fiddling around on the guitar, and that takes me somewhere. It's everything.
Then
It's
you
stories.
get the melody
It's
and then you
people.
start to build around it.
Yeah, both. I'll get a lot of the chords done and go, what am I going to do with this? But then somehow emotionally something pops up. And usually I start with the words, though. I start with someone I see or just a story.
What do you do if you get stuck? Do you put it away for a couple months, or
No, not that long, because then it bugs me. So no, but I'll walk away for the day and then go back the next day. Yeah, I can't let them go that long. Unlike the one I told you about that I wrote about my grandma that I did let go for a while. Usually, no.
There we go.
If you crouch down, no one will see you. Did
That's
you know
right.
that?
You're supposed to crouch down so no one will see you.
you have to take
He had it
It's-
focused
I'm
on
just-
telling you guys to stop.
Just joking with you.
Soundman's in the house. All right. Let me get to the last question. If you were to interview Sarah Pierce, what question would you ask yourself that I did not?
Stumper.
The stumper.
That was a stumper, man.
It is the stumper.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, yeah.
Not ours to know.
No, I mean, I think I'd probably. Well, you've asked him. Wow, because I'd ask what you want to do with your life that's more important than your music, that's more important than you. And I just want to make a difference. Not for me. For, I sound like the, what is that, Miss America thing? But I would love to make a difference in the world and somehow help it be better, so that Mike's daughter, so that Merle's grandchildren, I want them to see an elephant. I want them to not live in what I call a Mad Max world. I really, really want that to happen. And sometimes I think all of us feel a little bit helpless in that part. That the whole thing is much bigger than us. There is no doubt about it. But just trying to make sure, just to do something about it. It's frustrating, but boy, I would love to make a dent in it.
Yeah, you probably do, just on small scale, but you always do. You can.
Well, I hope we can do it.
It'll work. All right.
We'll try.
Any other questions? Otherwise, we're going to play another song and then we're
I have
done.
one quick question.
Sure.
There's a lot of, there's a tradition in Texas with dancing and country music. Do you play a lot of dance gigs or many?
No, we did. I did that for years. We played in Laughlin and Vegas and did the whole thing. No, now we try, we really just play our music. Now, granted, at Green Hall, I would make sure we mix it up a little bit, because there are people there that just want to dance. But thank goodness Green Hall also has the great listening group. But yeah, I don't do those anymore, because I just don't write that stuff. They'd be so bored. I mean, I can only do so many two-steps. Yeah. But it is important on the red dirt scene. You're right. Absolutely. Got to keep them
We
going.
play at Green Hall. It's Mike plays electric, and there's a bass player and full drum kit, and we bang it out. And even though it really is
What do you want to take it out with?
original music by and large, the dance floor is always full. So people, it works. It works. So.
Well, we didn't rehearse it.
We didn't rehearse that, it's true.
Yeah. Oh, we're just talking to ourselves while you.
Yeah, you guys take it up amongst
Oh,
yourselves.
no. Yeah, I don't want to go in. Oh, how about you want to take it out with Mackerel Sky?
Okay, great.
Oh, Brian Kalanick, you never mentioned him. The whole thing.
Well, I
with
haven't done the song
songwriting
yet.
And all that.
Oh,
And
somebody I wrote. Yeah, I can't remember stuff. I have enough trouble. So I wrote this with Brian Kalanick, who's a wonderful Houston writer. Yeah, I write with more people than I think. I love Brian Kalanick. Have you guys had him in yet?
I know him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's just fantastic. So this is one that I got stuck. I wanted to write a song about the mackerel sky because when I was a kid on the cattle ranch, we didn't have a TV, so my dad would teach me to read the sky. Were you putting the horses in, having the horses out? What were you supposed to do? And my favorite was the mackerel sky because it has to this day has not lied to me. If you see those scales line up, it's going to rain in 24, 48 hours, and it's going to last 24, 48 hours. So I sent it to Brian saying, I'm trying to make a love song out of this thing, and I just can't make it work. And so he sent me back this really nice bridge, and of course, but yeah, he's terrific to write with. Absolutely. I know, blathering on and on. Got it. I love to watch you read the sky like your grandpa taught you when you were a child. Horsetails brought fair weather, the mackerel sky brought rain, but only for a day, then the sun would shine again. I'm looking for a mackerel sky, the one that promises not long wet, not long dry. Make it through the storm tonight, tomorrow there'll be sunshine. Looking for a mackerel sky. You and I get crazy every once in a while. Life takes over, leaving you and me behind. I think about your grandpa and what he would say. Probably say we need a good rain to bring a brand new day. And I'm looking for a mackerel sky, the one that promises not long wet, not long dry. If we make it through the storm tonight, tomorrow there'll be sunshine. Looking for a mackerel sky. Your love for me is all I need to know. And no matter how dark the thunderclouds grow, we can weather whatever the wind blows in. Looking for a mackerel sky, the one that promises not long wet, not long dry. If we make it through the storm tonight, tomorrow there'll be sunshine. Looking for a mackerel sky. If we make it through the storm tonight, tomorrow there'll be sunshine. Looking for a mackerel sky. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Really
It's an
cool.
honor.